But the basic gist of the question is airplanes are expensive to rent. If you're renting from a school, there's a lot of other people at that school and they want to rent the same airplanes, and so now you're waiting and you feel like you're being delayed because the airplanes aren't available. And you look at barnstormers or trade a plane and you see a plane out there and you're thinking, well, wow, I need to build all these hours and then I'm eventually going to become a CFI and start teaching, so why don't I just buy an airplane? I'll get my ratings in my own airplane and then I'll turn around and become an instructor and I'll start teaching in my own airplane. That seems like a pretty good financial move, right? So as a rule, I generally say it's not a good idea to do that. I don't encourage people to go out and buy airplanes to build their time, especially if they're not even a private pilot yet. Even if they have their commercial rating and they're working on their CFI, owning and operating an airplane safely and keeping it maintained is a really big responsibility. It's also a really big financial responsibility, and it takes a lot of finances. Generally, it doesn't work out for people, and I've seen this happen time and time again. But for every case where it worked out well for somebody, I know of 2 or 3 cases where they bought the airplane, they had a great time flying it for 40 or 50 hours, and then it needed a new engine. Well, let's say they paid $30,000 for this kind of older, affordable airplane, not knowing that it was going to need a new engine soon, and now it needs a new engine, which is going to be about $30,000. So now you just doubled your investment of the airplane if you want to keep it flying. You have to fork over another 30 grand. So I just can't stress enough how quickly a plane can turn into something affordable that you love, and you just love the fact that you have it, to something that is incredibly expensive and that you're basically struggling to make ends meet now, trying to finance this big hole that you're just throwing money in. So it's a huge responsibility to take on as a new pilot, and there's too often it just doesn't work out that well. There's a lot of things you need to think about, and just, you know, as a rough estimate, I would expect to spend around $10,000 a year before you fly it at all. You're going to be investing about $10,000 a year. So if that doesn't sound like anything that's even close to your budget, you know, I would not suggest